All right, guys, so we mentioned in our 1 year review of doing keto video that we wanted to start tracking certain foods and how it affects our bodies. So we decided to buy a ketone and blood glucose monitor. So definitely not necessary, especially when you're first starting out, but we've been doing keto for over a year, and so we are just curious to see which foods kick us out of keto or have a effect on our bodies. So it's definitely not cheap. I mean, I think each ketone strip is like $1, so it definitely hurts my frugal heart a little bit. So we decided to get the Keto Mojo. There's several brands that are probably really similar. We decided to just look at some reviews, see which ones were the most accurate and also best value. They're all very, very close, but we just decided to go with this one. So this video is just to share our experience and our initial thoughts on using it, but we want to start a series of videos showing you our experience, maybe trying different keto snacks and how they affect us, different meals for our meal plan videos. And if you have certain foods or certain products that you want us to test on ourselves, just let us know in the comments below. So we decided that for our first tests, we would do our top 3 smoothies. We're going to first get an idea of our baseline in the morning after being awake for 2 hours. So if I wake up at 6:30 a.m., we'll check our blood glucose and ketone levels at 8:30 before we eat anything. So we want to wait 2 hours because of the dawn effect, which means that your glucose is usually higher in the morning, so you want to wait a little bit so they can level out a little bit. And then we're going to start testing our reactions after eating breakfast, and we'll check after 1 hour of eating and then 3 hours after eating, just to see how our body responds. So my blood glucose was 99, a lot higher than Meg's. I don't really know where mine should be at, and so it'll be interesting to keep monitoring that. But Meg is in deep ketosis, and I'm just like in a mild state of ketosis, and we eat the same thing, but probably because Meg is nursing our daughter right now, and so I'm sure that has some, influence on it. But now I'm going to drink our peanut butter chocolate smoothie for smoothie number 1, and which you can find on our recipe videos. And then we'll test it after 1 hour and then also after 3 hours to see how we react to it. So good. All right, day 2 of our test. So as a review, what happened yesterday for day 1 after drinking our peanut butter chocolate smoothie. So my ketones at the baseline started a little bit lower, but then an hour and 3 hours after drinking it, it continued to go up and my glucose continued to go down. Versus with Megan, her ketones started a little higher, and then after an hour it went down a little bit, and then after 3 hours it went back up, and her glucose kind of did the same thing. So a little bit of a difference between both of us. But now for day 2, we're going to be testing our second smoothie, which is our cheesecake pumpkin or pumpkin cheesecake smoothie. But first we're going to do our baseline, and then we'll drink our smoothie and do our tests later. All right, now I'm going to drink my smoothie, the pumpkin cheesecake smoothie. If you haven't tried it, you should go and check out our meal plan videos. This is on day 3 of weeks 1 and 2 so far. It's really good. It's about the same net carbs as our first smoothie for our peanut butter chocolate smoothie. All right, we're on day 3 of our testing. So for yesterday's pumpkin cheesecake smoothie, it was very similar results to our first day smoothie. It seems like I usually start out for my baseline about 1 ketone level. Then I usually slightly drop down, which happened yesterday after an hour. And then after 3 hours, I go back to normal. And then for Megan, she starts out a lot higher ketones than I do, and then usually is very heavily affected after an hour of drinking the smoothie. So after an hour, she drops down by half, and then she goes right back up to that high level after 3 hours. So it's kind of interesting that we both have similar correlations, but her ketones are a lot higher than mine. But the common thing is that after 3 hours, we're back to normal, which is good news after drinking 2 of these smoothies. So we'll see what happens for this smoothie today. Those are both of our highest ketone levels, so that's kind of interesting. So this is the third and final smoothie that we'll be drinking, which is our favorite, which is our PB&J smoothie. And it's also our highest net carb smoothie, so it'll be interesting how this one will affect after 1 hour and 3 hours. All right, so we finished our 3 smoothie test, and like I mentioned yesterday, our PB&J smoothie is our highest net carbs out of all 3 of the smoothies. And for our results yesterday, it followed basically the same trend with, for the most part. Our baselines started out our highest ketones that we've ever read out of the 3 days. I didn't even know it was possible for you to have above 4, unless you were doing like a 72-hour fast or something like that.
It's probably just because I'm nursing our daughter, though. It's not, I'm sure it's why.
But within an hour after drinking our PB&J smoothie, our ketones dropped really low. I think it was definitely my lowest reading. And then for you, it was, I think, not your lowest, but second lowest reading.
Yeah, but technically speaking, we were both still in ketosis, so I'm not too worried about it.
That's true. And within 3 hours, when we tested after the 3-hour window, after drinking it, we were back to our normal ketone ranges anyway. So it didn't bring us down too low for that long.
Yeah. Gives me more confidence in our smoothies.
Yeah, that they are actually keto approved. So I'll put up on the screen our averages for both our blood glucose and our ketone levels at our baselines and after 1 hour of drinking the smoothie and also after 3 hours of drinking the smoothie. But as far as the winners go, the smoothie that had the least impact on our ketone levels was smoothie number 1, which was our chocolate peanut butter smoothie. And then slightly more effect on our ketones was smoothie number 2, which was our pumpkin cheesecake smoothie. And then the loser was our PB&J smoothie, which obviously we kind of expected as the highest carb, but that had a pretty noticeable change and reduction of our ketone levels after drinking that.
Well, it's kind of what we expected as far as the different smoothies go. I'm not surprised at all. And the good news is that we stayed in ketosis with all 3 smoothies. So it's really nothing to be worried about. And it gives me confidence that our meter actually works.
That's true.
And even if it didn't work and it was off, it is like easy to see a trend every single day. And so we can follow the trends at the very least on what our bodies are doing when we eat certain foods.
Yeah, it was fun to do this experiment, especially with our smoothies first, because we're obsessed with smoothies. We drink one almost every day. It's on our meal plan videos. And so it's probably wise for us to start there to check that for our first experiment. So overall, what do you think of testing your blood glucose and also ketone levels?
I am surprised. I actually liked it. I think it's a good next step for us, for where we're at in our journey right now. But I don't think it's the end-all be-all. I think that it could actually be really bad for someone that has a specific mentality of like having to reach certain numbers or be a certain weight or like that kind of mentality. I think it would not do well with a ketone meter. It's more about, it should be more about how you feel and not about the numbers. And so if you're going to focus too much on the numbers, then you really shouldn't have a ketone meter.
That's a good point. I mean, if you're the type of person that is obsessed with like results and numbers, this might be kind of a nightmare and may not be a good thing for you to do, at least initially.
Oh, now I'm too close. Oh, she just barfed everywhere.
Oh dear.
I think I like testing our glucose better than our ketones. It reflects better how I'm feeling versus just the ketones that are in my blood at the time. And it's also a lot cheaper. I got a super inexpensive glucose monitor when I was pregnant with this little one from Walmart, and it works great.
Yeah, I noticed that about the blood glucose too. And so, and even the ketone meter, it just measures the ketones circulating in your bloodstream. So it doesn't necessarily reflect the whole picture of what's going on. And then also like the guidelines of what's optimal ketosis range, you know, it's like 1.5 to 3. Like I was below that a lot of the time. You were above that a lot of the time. And it really like didn't affect us like in how we're feeling. So is there anything that you would change because of doing these tests?
Yeah, actually, it's really reminding me of the importance of not snacking all day long. I definitely fall into that trap. And so it's a good reminder for me. When you're snacking, you're constantly raising your insulin levels and you're never allowing yourself to really get down into a good state of ketosis.
Yeah, you're keeping your blood glucose elevated a lot of the time.
Yeah, exactly.
So like we said before, testing your ketone levels is extremely optional.
And sometimes not recommended.
Yeah, so be careful, do your research, but let us know what you think. How important is it to test your ketone levels on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being extremely helpful, 1 not being helpful at all? Let us know what you think in the comments below.
Bye.